Open weapons versus closed weapons, the eternal debate that has been plaguing the Battlefield community ever since Battlefield Labs came out. For about 5 or 6 months now, players are asking for closed weapons to return to Battlefield 6, and they were seemingly ignored by EA and DICE. Now, DICE has finally responded and confirmed the return of closed weapons in the open beta, which is coming soon for Battlefield 6. But it is not returning in a way that you might expect. Open weapons and closed weapons will exist in one world, in a world of matchmaking playlists, which basically confirms that server browser will not be present in the Battlefield 6 open beta. Hey, welcome, my name is Ace, I'm a Battlefield YouTuber, I'm covering Battlefield 6 extensively. If you love Battlefield and you like to keep in touch with everything news and leaks related to Battlefield 6 and the upcoming open beta, then consider subscribing. Thank you so much for your consideration. In a very unexpected tweet, Battlefield X account tweeted, "Open weapons versus closed weapons, why not both? Starting at open beta, players can choose official playlists with signature weapons locked to class or not. More to come." First of all, this is amazing news, especially if you are somebody who really cannot stomach Battlefield 2042's open weapon system. Even if you are somebody who doesn't care about the class locked weapons, this is great news, because it finally shows that DICE is actually listening to feedback in Battlefield Labs. They have been notorious over the past 5 or 6 months from not responding to feedback correctly. Now they responded. However, their response, in my opinion, could have been better. Let me explain this. While this is really amazing news that they're allowing people to now test the closed weapon system in Battlefield 6, there is going to be an inevitable player base split in the open beta, which might affect the matchmaking algorithms and also the queue times of the open beta. You have to think about how this looks on the side from somebody who probably hasn't played Battlefield before, and they're trying to drag in new players into the open beta, which is probably going to be free to play. Those players will come into the open beta, and let's say they queue for, I don't know, the open weapon system, which they know from COD and the other games, and let's say that that queue is kind of more dead than the queue which everybody's playing, which is the classed lock weapons. That queue time might kind of give them the impression that the Battlefield 6 open beta has low interest and that it's kind of dead. And I really think that splitting the player base in the most important open beta they have ever had is maybe not a very, very good idea. Instead, I would rather that they have given an option in Battlefield Labs beforehand. This is what's now coming back to kind of bite them in the ass here. Beforehand, they should have tested this in Battlefield Labs long time ago and not in the open beta, in my humble opinion. And with the return of closed weapons as a playlist, they basically all but confirmed that server browser will not be present in Battlefield 6 open beta. So if you were holding out hope for server browser appearing in Battlefield 6 open beta, now they all but confirmed this is not gonna be the case. So I think at this point it is time we say goodbye to server browser ever being a possibility in Battlefield 6 launch version or the open beta, because we just have to face the reality here, guys. The Battlefield 6 open beta will be 90% of the launch version of the game, with few minor tweaks here and there, just something on the side, but basically what we see is gonna be what we get, as X Factor said famously a couple of days ago. So if you were holding out hope for that, I'm very sorry, but this is just the reality of it. So it's kind of just very ironic that DICE always, when they deliver good news, they also deliver bad news for some circles at the same time. So I say farewell to the server browser. I knew it's never going to return ever since they got rid of it in Battlefield 2042, because the way DICE operates, once they remove one system, they barely never go back to those systems. I mean, look at, for example, the thermal vision for tank driver has been gone in Battlefield 2042. It has never returned. Battlefield 3 suppression, never returned. Battlefield 5 movement is not returning. So you see what I mean? They just don't return some systems, and I think server browser was a victim of one of those things, unfortunately for people who really like server browser, but it is what it is. And with this tweet, DICE confirmed that the open beta for Battlefield 6 is just around the corner. They wouldn't be tweeting now if this open beta is going to happen in September or October. It's going to happen a couple of days after July 31st huge global game reveal of Battlefield 6. This is what most of us content creators are expecting, and I really think DICE is going to deliver around those dates. The only thing I'm really hoping they release a couple days before the open beta is the computer system requirements for BF6 open beta. There are some system requirements for Battlefield Labs, but I would want to have something a bit more official so I can make a video about it, because I have a lot of players here who are my followers who are from computer, and I want to make a video about the PC system requirements for Battlefield 6. So I'm holding out hope that those come in the next couple of days in some form of a tweet or whatever it might be. I will make a video about it. And that basically sums up the video for today, guys. It's going to be a bit shorter one. Yesterday I had a long form video. I just want to give you the good news and the bad news, unfortunately, for people who like server browser. But hey, they listened. Maybe they didn't listen in a way that we expected them to listen, but hey, they listened, which is great. They're listening to feedback. So perhaps other things that are problematic within Battlefield 6 might also get tested and solved at some point in the future as well. Perhaps maybe not for the Battlefield 6 open beta, but after open beta, there is still going to be like a month and a half, maybe 2 months before Battlefield 6 is going to fully come out. And I think they still might have some time to put those things that people have problems with in or out of the game, depending on your point of view. Guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, then leave a like and a subscription and comment for the algo. I'm sorry that the commentary is a little bit rushed. I was on my way out and then I saw this news and I just figured I'm going to report this very fast for you guys because it's very good news. So I really hope this made your day. If you loved class lock weapons, if you don't love them, they should also, like I said earlier, make your day too because they're listening. So have a great rest of your day and I'll see you probably on Wednesday. Take it easy and bye-bye.